How's it going, everyone? This is Radishhead, and welcome back to Upland Analysis. I think this is the first video that I'm doing using the Upland marketplace analytics that they released a few weeks ago, and I really like it. I know the data isn't always super duper up to date. They update it once a day, but for a top level understanding of where the game's at, where the cities are at, and how prices and mints are trending, I use it quite often. Sometimes I just want to roughly understand what's going on in Upland, and this is just a place I go to for that because it's super easy to pull the data. And that is what I've been doing recently with Chicago mints, and I feel like I've got a duty to tell people that if you're not minting in Chicago right now, I don't know what you're doing, because Chicago is the only tier 1 city. I know Upland are moving away from tiers, but it was originally marketed as a tier 1 city, and it still has unminted properties, but for how much longer? That's what this video is all about. And I've been going on here for the last week or so, and I've been filtering on this unminted properties table. I put it on FSA no, because the sort of minting process of FSAs is more dependent on like new player influx than anything else, so a bit unpredictable. So I always turn off FSAs, and I filter it on Chicago for the city, and I've just been looking at this available properties metric, and I've noted down the numbers that I've been picking up each day. When I looked at this on the 21st, so as of recording about 5 days ago, this was at 108k. Then on the 23rd, it was at 98k. Then the 25th, which was yesterday, it was at 93k. And today, by the end of the day, it'll be rounding it down, it'll be at about 90k. So that is dropping by about 3 to 5k per day available properties to mint, and there are 90k properties left to mint in Chicago. So if that trend stays consistent, then that means by the end of 2021 there will be no properties left to mint in Chicago. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, the properties that are left to mint in Chicago are a little bit more expensive than, you know, the ones that are available at the moment. So there's quite a few properties about 5k, but I know that you know, there are also properties out of Chicago that are about 10k to mint. So they're pretty expensive mints relatively. They won't be for, you know, in a few months' time. I'm sure you'll make a profit on those, but at the moment they look quite expensive. Now, I've sort of been monitoring the mint trends of other cities, and they kind of go in like a bit of a reverse bell curve situation in terms of the number of mints happening per day. When the city is first unlocked, there are tons of mints. Everyone's like, yeah, Chicago, new city, like mint, mint, mint. Everyone's spending all their upics there. People run out of upics, the fever calms down, and, you know, the number of mints per day, it just dips and dips, and people, you know, they're going off into other cities. There's Kansas City, there's New Orleans, but Chicago's been slowly pumping away in the background. You know, it hasn't let up too much, and now I think I'm seeing more and more attention being brought to the fact that actually there might only be 1 month left until Chicago is fully minted, and that becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I've seen it happen in other cities as well. Staten Island saw this, where when it became known there weren't that many unminted properties left, suddenly that actually picked up. So it wasn't a consistent number of mints per day. Actually, towards the end, there was like a sudden jump, and everything got minted right at the end. So I think it's actually quite the opposite. I think there's actually a possibility that there's less than a month to go until Chicago is fully minted. Like, if it gets a proper boost at the end, like there's a couple of big players who are like, oh, well, you know, I want to maximize my holdings in the city because once it's all minted out, the prices are probably going to go up. which, not financial advice, but I think they probably will, yeah, they'll have an interest in just grabbing as much as possible before everything is all minted. So that is just my heads up to you all that if you've got a little bit of spare UpX, I would strongly consider trying to find some decent mint price properties in Chicago. Anything that's 5 to 6K, I think is a good bet. And yeah, just grab them and hold on to them for a little bit. Yeah, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So that's my message for this video. I hope you found it useful, and yeah, we'll keep an eye on how that prophecy comes to fruition in the coming weeks. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you did. And until next time, I'll see you then.